for them as once, Annie.
Have you seen my penny book?
What book?
The chemistry textbook.
No, I haven't. It'll be wherever you last left it.
Don't bother doing any toast for me. I don't want anything.
Oh, yes, you do. You're not going to school without some breakfast inside you.
Have you seen that chemmy book I was reading? Have you put it somewhere?
Me? I wouldn't touch your rotten old chemmy book.
It's all right, I found it.
Ah, see, you don't want to be so quick accusing people.
Well, it shouldn't be under a cushion, should it? Because you shouldn't be reading it in here, sat in front of the telly, should you?
Oh, man, don't nag.
If I tell you something once, you're taking a notice, and if I tell you twice, I'm nagging. Now, come on, the pair of you. There's jam on the table. Sue, get some breakfast down here.
Oh, man.
No argument. I am not having you fainting in school one morning and then it coming out that you get no breakfast given you.
It won't be me who faints in school. Be our kid when she gets her exam results.
Just shut up, you. Just because you can't do anything, don't keep picking on those who can.
OK, that'll do. I don't know what's wrong with this house. The rounds get earlier every flipping day. Hey. Are you coming to work today or what?
Oh, I suppose so.
It's nearly 8:30, you know. We'll have that shop full of school kids any minute now.
Pretty, you don't know what an ordeal it is. Steeling yourself to go and face the world when you've been pilloried across the newspapers.
Mavis, I do have an idea because you keep describing it to me.
Have you checked them yet, the papers?
Yeah, I had a quick whip through.
Go on then, tell me the worst.
There's not much in today, not much more than a passing mention,
You
really.
mean there is something again? Oh, what? What is it now?
Mavis, all the papers are on the counter. The best thing you can do is go down and check them yourself.
Oh.
Oh, suppose I better start thinking about getting down to the office.
You're not exactly bursting with get up and go this morning, are you?
No, I'm not. A lot of drudgery waiting for me. I'll say this for Sally. She used to get through a lot of work. She's very capable.
Oh, yeah. Capable of leading you right up the garden path.
No, but to be fair to her,
I don't particularly want to be.
all I'm saying is she could get through a lot of work. I've got to find a replacement as soon as I can.
I thought you had a temp secretary coming in sometime.
Well, yeah, she's coming this morning. I better get down there. Don't want to find her on the doorstep getting all shirty. She'll be quite shirty enough when she sees what a muddle the office is in.
Well, don't panic. You're the boss, she's the slave, remember?
Right.
Only you don't look particularly boss-like this morning.
I don't.
No, you look to me like a man who was up till well after midnight trying to fix some shelves together.
You know, your perceptions are remarkably acute today.
Every day. It's a gift I have.
Bye.
Bye.
Say not the struggle naught availeth. You know, if the wind's in the right direction, I might finish that lot tonight.
You hope.
Here comes the really hard part, writing the whole exercise up for the recorder.
You really going to do that?
Yeah, why not? Should be readable enough. A beginner's adventure and do it yourself.
True, true. But can it compete with Mavis Riley's love life?
Yeah, this'll do. Go on.
I would have thought you'd have known the streets round here like the back of your hand, you being a milkman.
Oh, around here I do. No, this is for around Ashton Way, Audenshaw, Drelsden, you know, the lost continents.
You're expanding your round a bit far, aren't you?
Oh, no, this is for when I'm wearing my other uniform, you know, the tuxedo with the braid. Snazzy Dicky Bow.
You've lost me.
I play in a dance band. Greg Gordon, the Blue Tones. I'm a trombonist.
I never knew that.
No reason why you should, really, I suppose. Yeah, we play a couple of dances around Manchester, like, just semi-pro.
Well, I didn't know you were a musician.
The people who would heard me would argue with that.
I used to be in the business, you know. Singer in the clubs.
By the way, you packed it in, have you?
I packed it in before it packed me in.
Well, if ever you think of making a comeback, think about a double act. Never mind songs at the piano, songs at the trombone. It could be sensation.
Oh, don't ring us, we'll ring you.
See you lot.
At last. I had to mentally force myself down those stairs, Rita. I've had to will myself to come and face up to the world's mockery.
Give over, Mavis. The world's not all that interested in you. People are going about their business and leading their own lives. Not everybody's interested in you and your love affairs.
Well, that's not how it feels when your personal and private things are put in the paper for everybody to see. Where is it?
Yeah, here. Page 2.
Oh. Oh, my God. It's all over the page. Look, there's a picture of Derek here. I thought you said it was just a passing mention.
Well, it's mainly about Derek, not you.
Oh, I never said that.
What?
Well, this is... Well, you've read it, haven't you? It quotes me as saying... Oh.
Go on, read it out.
My woman's intuition came to my rescue. I realise now that I saved myself from a fate worse than life, because that is what marrying that man would have been.
You always did have a way with words, Mavis.
Oh, and I mean, this here, look, this sort of headline thing, The Trouble with Derek by the Bride Who Never Was. Oh, the bride who never was.
Rather good, that, I thought.
The trouble with Derek Wilton is that he saves all his energies for keeping his boss happy. And he doesn't have all that much energy to start with.
Now, you're not telling me that reporter made that up. You must have said that.
Well, perhaps I did in the heat of the moment, but I mean, there's no right to go putting it in the paper.
Well, I'll say one thing for you, Mavis. Even though you come down late, no one can accuse you of not pulling your weight in the business.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, that's how we make a living, selling newspapers. So you must be good for somebody's circulation. But not Derek Wilton's circulation when he reads that.
Say I'm had up.
So, Betty.
Can't hear.
Oh, hang on.
What?
What are you having?
I'll have a lager, Betty.
Okay, love. How are you? Nice to see you out of that cafe for a change.
Yeah, I've just finished. It's me half day.
Must be like a great stone rolling off you.
Something like that, yeah.
I tell you what, seems that that chip pan's not doing your complexion any harm. Still looks like a little schoolgirl, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Oh.
That your hair of the dog, is it?
Not especially, no.
We had a right hangover this morning. I'm not surprised drinking till past midnight.
Give it a rest, will you, Gail?
You stank of it when you came in. Wonderful, the romance of it all, lying in bed listening to your mam shouting, "Is that you, our Brian?" as you come staggering up the stairs.
Flipping heck, Gail. I'm entitled to the occasional night out with the lads.
Lads, that what you call Jack Duckwood?
I'm not out so much, am I? So I'm entitled to a bit of fun now and again.
I must put my name down for a bit of this fun. I've forgotten what it's like.
Hi there, Brian. Good night last night, wasn't it? He is quite a lad, this husband of yours, on the quiet, you know. There were one or two in there last night asking could they have a pup up him.
Really?
He had us in stitches. Mind you know what he's like when he gets going.
No, I don't really, Jack. No, I think most of it goes for export.
Give it a time, please, Betty.
Okay, love.
You're all right, aren't you?
I'll have another.
Well, hang on, don't belt it. That's no way to treat flipping ale. Go on, give him a pipe, Betty.
Okay.
Here, what are you after?
No, I just want a quiet word.
Look, I'm skint.
Look, I just want a quiet father-to-son chat, that's all.
What about?
You know, that there way.
Dad, I already know about Father Christmas and the presents and all that.
I am on about birds, and in particular, birdie on your own doorstep.
What are you on about? Tina doesn't live round here.
Tina? Who's Tina when she's on?
That little aerobics teacher I took out last night.
Not on about her. I'm on about the milkman's daughter.
Andrea?
Yes, I've seen the way you've been looking at her, and it doesn't take 10 minutes to say good morning, neither.
Well, it does when the bird looks like her, doesn't it?
Yes, well, exactly. Well, I'm telling you, watch yourself, it's too close to home. I don't want to finish up with a milk bottle on me nuts just because you're mucking about with Harry Clayton's daughter.
I'm not mucking about with Harry
I am
Clayton.
telling you, it is too close to home, lad. Will you listen to a father's advice, eh? Ideally, a bird shouldn't even know where you live. Rule number 1. Rule number 2, avoid your own home. Rule number 3, never go out with a woman you live near.
That's why you never take my mum out, innit?
Oh, all right, clever shins, you have it your own flipping way, but if you take my advice, you will box clever with that Andrea girl, tell you.
Chance to be a fine thing.
Oh, I do wish you'd stop all this whinging and sighing.
It's no use. I'll have to do it.
Do what, for heaven's sake?
I'll have to speak to Derek. It's the only way. I've been trying to reconcile myself to it all morning, but I'll have to phone him up and tell him I didn't say those awful things in the paper.
That's a very cunning way of putting it, that. You didn't say all those awful things. Let's face it, you said some of them.
It was that reporter, Jim Lomax, putting words into my mouth. I'll have to phone him up. I've got his number somewhere at the office.
Morning, ladies.
Morning.
Back to my cigars, please. Don't worry, Mavis. I'm not going to mention it.
What?
The latest instalment in your love line.
Read it, have you?
Oh, twice, but like I said, I'm not going to talk about it.
Thank you.
Don't mention it, but the girls at work, they're talking about nothing else.
Oh, take no notice. He's having yours.
I wish you wouldn't. Oh, hello. Mr. Derek Wilton's office, please. No, this is not the press speaking. Oh, hello, Derek. I had to ring you up because... pardon? Oh, hello, Mr. Sutton. I expected Derek to speak... Well, no, this is Mavis Riley. Could you ask him to come to the phone, please? Pardon? Oh. Oh, yes. He wasn't there.
Well, I rather gathered that.
He's on his way around here, apparently, to have it out with me.
Right. Well, there we are. What do you think about that, then?
Oh, it's not bad. Have you done it all yourself?
Alone I did it, and without the aid of a net. Actually, it's not as hard as you think. The worst bit is trying to make sense of the instructions.
You what? And you with a degree in the English language?
Oh, yeah, but that could be my problem. I think the people who write the instructions are probably Swahili tribesmen whose only experience of English has been a short correspondence course.
Anyway, it gives us a lot more space than we have with Uncle Albert's sideboard. Yeah, you need all the space you can get in these houses, don't you?
But this is only the start, Beth. I'm going to go right through the house and do all the jobs that need doing.
Well, there's a few next door could do with doing. There's one hell of a mixture of drafts in my bedroom. It's just like sleeping in a tent. I keep meaning to get onto the brewery to get them to put central heating in the summer, you know.
Tell them I'll quote them a price for the job.
Right, you're on. I best get back. I'll see you later.
Right. Okay, bye. Right. Well, I better get a move on. The temp's holding the fort.
Oh, I was meaning to ask you what's she like.
There's nothing for you to worry about. She must be 50 if she's a day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Where is he, Reed? Mr. Sutton said he was on his way. Oh, it's the waiting. I can't stand.
Now, Mavis, don't get yourself worked up. And when he does come, don't let him make you feel guilty.
Well, I am guilty. All those awful things I said in the paper.
What about the awful things he said about you?
I don't suppose it was his fault. I don't suppose he intended it to be like that.
Well, neither did you. So you're even. Hey, up.
I think you know why I'm here, Mavis.
Yes, I rang the office, Derek. Mr. Sutton
You
said...
rang my office. Haven't you put the knife in for me enough at that office, Mavis?
I just wanted to explain.
It's too late for explanations. It may interest you to know that I spoke to a friend of mine this morning, and his wife's brother is a solicitor, so he knows what he's talking about. And he said, in his view, I could well have legal grounds.
Will you just let me explain?
I never realised until this morning, Mavis, that you hated me.
Well, this is a bit of luck, eh? I was just parking the car when I saw you come in.
Is this a trap? Have you done some unspeakable deal with this?
No, of course I haven't. I never wanted any dealings with him, as well you know.
All I do, love, is give people a chance to express themselves. I'm surprised you're upset, Derek, you know, because we're getting a lot of feedback from our readers and they are very sympathetic.
Well, I'd rather not have their sympathy, thank you very much.
Am I right in thinking I've brought you two lonely people together again? Because if I have, that's reward enough for me. In fact, I could have my photographer around here in 10 minutes. How about the reunion picture? Kiss and make up time, eh? I'd have to check back in this, but I'm pretty sure we'd pay good money.
Will you please go? You've ruined my life. I hardly dare go out. I just never want to speak to you again. Derek, I think you better come upstairs to the flat. It's too public here.
Yes, you're quite right, Mavis. If there's anything more about me in the papers, I'm telling you now, there'll be legal repercussions.
Don't speak to him, Derek. He'll only write it down and make you look stupid.
Well, as you gather, you're not exactly flavour of the month round here.
Amazing, isn't it, eh? Years from now, when they look back, they'll be proud of those stories. They will. Makes them special, doesn't it?
Does it?
I'm not kidding. They'll be proud in the long run.
You're joking. He'll never forgive her for her saying them things you put in paper. He's only come round to choke her.
Well, sit down. You might as well be comfortable.
Comfortable? I'll never be comfortable again as long as I live. You wounded me, Mavis. I don't know how you could do it. And after our talk yesterday, I genuinely believed we'd achieved an understanding.
Look, all those things in the paper. What you don't understand is that I spoke to that reporter before you came round yesterday, when I was still angry with the things you'd said about me.
We went through all that yesterday, Mavis. I was misquoted.
So was I.
Oh, really? Really? Well, I'm well aware that that reporter twists people's words, Mavis. He did it to me. But I cannot believe that he just invents things out of the blue. It says here, Derek Wilton is a little boy who has never grown up, commented petite poetry-writing Mavis. He is a Peter Pan. He refuses to make decisions. I don't think he could run a sweet shop, let alone a wholesale confectionery firm's sales department. I do not believe that that is totally the product of his imagination.
Well, I may have hinted, but...
No. Well, first thing this morning, Mavis, I had a phone call from Mr. Harrison, our head of group sales. He read that over his breakfast. How do you think it makes me stand in his estimation?
Well, I know how you must be feeling, Derek, but how do you think I felt when I read what you'd said about me?
That is not the point, Mavis. We are not talking about hurt feelings. We are talking about a man's career.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I think that my feelings are important, too.
You have completely sawed through the vital rungs of my promotion ladder, Mavis. I tried to explain matters to Mr. Harrison, but he seemed to think I've been trying to get my name in the paper.
Oh, if you like, I'll write and explain to him.
No! Just leave it alone. And on top of all that, you made me a laughingstock at the office. The office junior, a boy of 16. He's with us on work experience. He came up to me this morning in front of the secretaries and everybody and said Nigel Dempster was on the phone for me. Well, of course, it was his idea of a joke. He's been reprimanded, needless to say. But that doesn't help me, does it?
Oh, it's all you, isn't it? What about me? I've got to live with people too, you know. I've got to face people in that shop every day. But you don't care about anybody else. All you care about is your career.
I must say, Mavis, it's been a revelation to me, this sudden streak of temper in you. I never suspected it existed until these last few days.
I'm sorry, I can't help that. You'd make a saint lose a temper, you would.
Well, that's one thing this whole unfortunate episode has made very, very clear. Our marriage would certainly have been a stormy business. The sparks would certainly have flown.
Yes, well, that's all in the realms of what might have been, because nobody will ever know that now, one way or the other.
And yet, strangely, Mavis, perhaps I shouldn't tell you this.
What?
This business has had its good side. It's brought us face to face again. Because I've often thought of you, you know.
Have you?
Did you ever think about me at all?
Oh, yes. Many a time.
You see, here we are. It almost makes you believe in predestination. Fate, call it what you will. Something seems to cast the two of us together, Mavis. Struggle against it as we might.
Perhaps.
Yes?
Perhaps we haven't been struggling hard enough.
Yes, all right, I'll tell her. Night-night. I said you'd pop up in a few minutes.
Oh, right.
Looks good, eh?
It looks fine. Now, listen, love, before it's too late, are you sure we're safe putting ornaments on here? I mean, it's not all going to come crashing down in the night, is it?
Oh, ye of little faith, it's anchored, safe as the house. When this wall finally falls down, these shells will still be firmly attached.
All right, I believe you. It does look nice, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. You know, when Bet was talking earlier about putting central heating in, we could do that, you know. I mean, Tracy's room is pretty cold, isn't it? Unless we have an electric fire blazing away. We could have gas central heating, radiators all over the place, and it wouldn't cost the earth if I did the installation myself.
Ken, you can't put central heating in. I mean, shells are one thing.
No, honestly, if I used my head, did it step by step, I could do central heating. With modern pipes, plumbing's much easier than it used to be. Everybody says so.
I bet plumbers don't say it.
Look, you didn't think I could do these units, did you? And I admit it. You were wrong about that.
But plumbing, Ken, with all that water involved, not to mention the gas.
Be a great project for the paper, too, a weekly column. I could give the readers a blow-by-blow account.
Not just blow by blow, leak by leak, explosion by explosion.
Now, before you start, no, everybody is not staring at you. No, Bet did not say a word about you and Derek.
Perhaps people really are sick of the subject.
Of course they are. Well, I mean, Mavis, yesterday's sensation in the newspapers is tonight's wrap-up at Fish and Chips.
It's not quite like that when it's you that's caused the sensation, Rita.
No, I suppose not. Still, I'd have thought people like you and Joan Collins and Princess Di get used to seeing your name in paper.
Never get used to it. And I just hope I never see that awful reporter ever again.
I shouldn't think so. Said to me in the shop this afternoon that he'd had a good run with it. Almost squeezed it dry. I think them were his exact words.
There you are, you see, it's just routine to them and it's heartbreak to the victims. I mean, Derek says it's got no hope of climbing any higher now.
Climbing?
The promotion ladder at the office.
Oh, only when you mention Derek and climbing, I get this mental picture of monkeys and sticks.
I don't think he blames me quite so much now. I think he realises there was no malice on my part.
Do you care what he thinks?
Well, of course I do. I wouldn't want anybody to think I was being deliberately malicious. I mean, Derek was a very special person in my life, wasn't he?
Definitely. You only get one man in a lifetime like Derek, unless you've been really unlucky.
Before he went, he said that he hoped we could be friends again.
I hope you told him to take a running jump.
Of course I didn't. We've been through a lot of troubles together.
Yes, he caused most of them.
All the same, I think he was sincere when he said he'd like to be my friend.
Derek, a friend? What good would he be as a friend? I mean, he's not dependable, he's not trustworthy, he's not helpful. He'd be even worse as a friend than he would as husband.
Get 'em in, I'll tell you.
Have we got time?
There is always time for a quick pint. If you haven't got time for a pint, you haven't got time for anything.
I'll remember that.
Always glad to pass these useful little wrinkles on to your son. That is what a father's for.
Now, I'm glad you told me that, Dad, because I've often wondered what you were for.
2 pints, please.
Okay, then.
Aye, Bright.
How do, Jack? Who else allowed to come for?
That's twice you've been brought in here today. Is it your birthday or something?
No, it's Brian feeling guilty.
Hey, we're off to Salford in a minute, down to rugby.
Oh, yeah? Should be a good game.
Well, you wouldn't chuckle. Hey, it's nice ale down there. You don't fancy it?
Some other time, eh?
You know what your trouble is, Brian? You haven't got your missus trained.
That makes 2 of you then, doesn't it?
Tony should be here in a minute. Are you sure you don't feel like coming?
Standing at the side of some dance hall watching you and Tony and the lads. No. Where is it you're at tonight?
Starlight Roof up Ordenshaw way. You know, used to be the old co-op dance hall. Jack, I remember the time your mother used to come to every dance I played at. She used to stand there watching me like a hawk in case some little dolly bird tried to snap me up.
Taking a notice. It was him used to watch me. I'd be dancing with some lad and suddenly I'd be hearing a lot of wrong notes and it was your dad watching me instead of his music.
If you ever feel like coming, you know, just by way of a change. Are we talking?
I'm watching Sally.
Taking a notice of her. She's been dead grumpy all day.
What's up, sweetheart? Somebody been nasty to you then? Come on, tell the old fella. Hasn't he gone right today then?
Oh, today, yesterday.
I thought you'd done quite well in your math.
Well, I didn't, did I?
Well, why didn't you say something yesterday?
You never asked.
Well, I shouldn't have to, Andy. Well, it's obvious what's wrong, isn't it? She must have failed.
Come on, love, you don't know how you've gone off, do you? Not till you get your result.
Well, I don't need the results, do I? I know how I've done.
Oh, well, you've been biting everybody's head off and picking on our Sue all the time. Here's me thinking I'd said something to upset you.
Okay, love, okay. Look, it's no use getting upset. I mean, they're only exams, and it's not as if these are the real thing anyway.
It'll be the real thing in a few weeks, though.
Okay. Suppose you don't pass. It wouldn't be the end of the world, would it? I mean, I never passed any exams, and your mum didn't.
It's like your dad says, love. Your exams aren't the be-all and end-all. Any road like as not, you'll be getting married in a year or 2.
You see, you don't have to let these things get you down. I mean, when the time comes to take your exams, do your best, certainly, but if you don't pass, well, like I say, it wouldn't be the end of the world.
Yes, it would. That's exactly what it'd be. You might not care whether I pass or not, but I do.
But I'm only trying to help you, love.
Well, you're not helping me by saying it doesn't matter if I fail. It does matter. It matters more than anything I'll ever do. Look at our Sue. There's nothing for her round here, is there? Nothing for anyone round here. And don't think I'm going to get some rotten, lousy job on a supermarket checkout or something and do that till I marry some lad, because I'm not. I'm going to get as far away from round here as I can, and that means I've got to get my A-levels.
Okay, love. Your dad's just trying to help you.
Well, he isn't, is he? And neither are you. Nobody is.
And there's more on Monday at midday. And unbelievably, in the very early days, there were plans to bulldoze the street if it didn't attract enough viewers. Fortunately, it did. Coming up next here on Plus, it's Emmerdale.